Okay. Live. Um, what a great game. Um, Definitely what we needed. We needed 3 points. We needed to get the horse off our back because we needed points after the little spell of injuries and squandering a couple games when we were up a man with the other team picking up red cards. We were getting away with games only picking up a point in some of those. And so this was a great turnaround. We had Lloyd back. Emmanuel Reynoso was back. We had Chase Gasper back from suspension. Ozzy Alonso back from suspension. But the main keys were Emmanuel Reynoso was back and Playoff Ray was back. Just absolute two bangers from King Ray because, oh my goodness, was the man on fire tonight. Starting off really early, Franco was right off the bat going strong at him, picking up a quick foul outside the top of the box. And really, we came out really quick, attacking fast, dynamic, quick passes. And so right away in the 4th minute, Emmanuel Nelson just, gets a quick back pass from Lord at the top of the 18 and just a beautiful shot to beat Klinsmann and to go up 1-0 in the 4th minute. And it was starting on fire. And then after that, LA had a bit of the ball trying to hit us on a couple breaks. Nothing really came to progression, though, for them. They really didn't create much early. And then about in the 20th minute, Reynoso gets the ball, similar spot, maybe even a little bit farther back than his first goal. Fakes to the right, opens up his body, and has a shot to curl with his left foot and curls it beautifully to beat Klinsmann from far again. And like I said earlier, playoff Reynoso is back, and it was good to. It was in the long run, it's good to get him healthy because we are going to need him in this playoff push and or push to make it into the playoffs. Because with this win, it puts us back into the playoff spot in 7th place. Right now, Real Salt Lake is winning 1-0 as of recording against Seattle. Preferably have maybe, I don't know, a draw. A draw would probably be the best. Maybe even a RSL loss. I'm not sure if we'll be able to catch Seattle Sounders this year. So if they could beat up on Real Salt Lake for us, that'd be nice. But nonetheless, we'll get back to the game. So after that, we created plenty of more opportunities after that until about halftime. The LAFC didn't make really any changes, neither did we at half. And we kind of started where we left off. I'd say we started where we left off. We created plenty of opportunities early in the second half. And then Franco Fracapane with a beautiful over the top through ball to Ethan Finley, who times it absolutely perfectly on sides, and finishes the ball. Great finish for Ethan Finley, and it was good to see him score. Hate to mention it, he did kind of miss a goal a little bit after that, but we're not gonna talk about that. Adrian Hanu later in the game sets Ethan Finley up for basically a tap-in. But I hate to say it, but he should have shot to the left side of the net 100%, and he doesn't. He goes to the near post, hits the outside of the post and out, and it should have been another Ethan Finley goal to make it 4-0, but we'll let it slide because Ethan was a workhorse tonight, played well up and down the field, got his goal. And in the 70th minute, we made some substitution. Hanu came on for Reynoso, as well as Ja'Cory Hayes came on for Robin Lod. And after that, oh yeah, huge dub, Nick, huge dub. But after that, I'd say we wouldn't attack quite as well after that. Kind of sat back, as well as when Franco Frapapane came off about 7 minutes later, and Joseph Roles came on, who looked pretty good tonight. Didn't do as well as he did in last game in Sporting Kansas City, but was pretty lively for the bit of time he got. Had a really good pass for Hanu. Was really lively coming in for Franco. And then after that, Brett Coleman comes on in the 82nd minute, as well as Ja'Cory Hayes picking up a yellow card at the exact same time for Ethan Finley. Went to 5 at the back, kind of set it up for the end. Really didn't pursue any attacking options late, as Roles and Hanu, with a little bit of Ja'Cory Hayes, were kind of just the 3 men, just if we did have the ball to push it down the field. And then if there wasn't really anything there, they just kind of turned it around, passed it back, wasted a little bit of time until the whistle blew. And yeah, it was a great game. So that's really all that kind of happened in the live track. So we'll get into the player ratings. Tyler Miller, clean sheet, needed that. Was really good tonight, actually. Came up with some huge saves, I forgot to mention. Some unorthodox saves, but you got to get the job done. So I'll give him a 8.5 out of 10. Played really well. Montier had a solid performance like he always does. You really know what you're going to expect out of him. He's got a pretty high standard, and I'll probably give him an 8 tonight. Wasn't his best game standout-wise, but just solid. Boxall dealt with everything he needed to up high. Give him a 7.5. There's a couple instances where there's a little bit of. Actually, I'll give him an 8. I think it was Debasi that ran into Miller. Yeah, it was Debasi. I'm going to give Debasi a 7.5. There's a couple miscommunications with him and Miller coming out for balls, which made it a bit hectic at times with crosses coming in. But nonetheless, they did end up dealing with those dangers. Chase Gasper signed a new contract this week. Probably give him 8 out of 10. He was good. I mean, clean sheet. Drew his falls. Just does what Chase does. Wasn't too shiny. Will Trapp and Ozzie Alonso. That was a really good midfield pairing. Will Trapp's going to get an 8.5, or actually an 8 tonight, and Ozzie Alonso is going to get an 8.5. I thought Ozzie did exactly what he needed under pressure with the ball. I thought they were both really good, but I thought there's a couple times where Ozzie winded back the years a little bit. It looked like his days back in Seattle where he had 3 guys around him and somehow was able to get the pass to another midfielder where you thought he was easily going to lose the ball. Franco Frapane was outstanding tonight. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Absolutely class. Emmanuel Reynoso is my man of the match for sure. Definitely needed El Rey back, and I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. Perfect game for me. Obviously not perfect. There are times where could have cleaned some stuff up, but nonetheless, perfect game for me, a 10 out of 10. Ethan Finley, I'm going to give him 8.5 out of 10. Really, really good game. If we probably would have given him a 9.5, we would have just made that sitter or something, but we can't forget that goal he missed. He knows he should have made it too, so we'll just leave it at that. Robin Lod played well. Wasn't too much on the score sheet, picked up the first assist, but let's be honest, it was all Ray that did the most of the work on that first goal. I'm going to give him a 7.5, actually an 8 with the assist. I don't think it was his best game, but just really good game from the team in general. We'll get into the subs. Adrian Hanu, I thought he looked better off the bench. A little bit more pace against defenders off the bench. I guess that's because the other defenders are a bit more tired, but he still didn't have that breakaway speed. Obviously, it's not his style. But I thought he stretched the line pretty well late and with limited help up front, with us kind of sitting back late at the end. I thought he did good. I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Ja'Cory Hayes, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Played all right, picked up a yellow. I think it was a pretty soft yellow, but picked it up nonetheless. And Joseph Roles, I thought played really well. Second appearance for the team. Young 20-year-old midfielder from Honduras. Played really, really well in Sporting Kansas City, even though we lost 4-0. But didn't really shine as much, and I just kind of did the easy stuff tidy. Had one really good pass, another good run, but the run kind of was cut short as they didn't have too many outlets, and the switch of play would have been an extremely hard pass to Hanu, so I understand why he kind of cocked it back and didn't let it go. And the one other pass to Ja'Cory Hayes, Ja'Cory wasn't going to beat the defender through after making that barrel and run down the pitch, so it was good to kind of cock it back, and he ended up losing the ball, but there should have been some outlet to pass it back. And other than that, Roles was good. He had a couple good tackles. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.5. I like to see some more of the kid. Every time he comes on, he just seems to kind of get the pace of the play down really well and just kind of gets involved right away, kind of tries to make an impact, which is nice to see. And Brett Coleman didn't really do much. Give him a 7.5. Did his job, came on, I guess 7.5. Didn't really have to do much for the last 10 minutes that he was on, but a really good win. 7th place guaranteed. Hoping for a Seattle maybe win or a draw. Like I said, RSL is in first right now not first, winning 1-0 as of recording. And that kind of shakes up where we're going to be landing in the table at the end of the match week, as well as LAFC Portland tomorrow. But we'll see what happens at the end of the weekend. At least we're back in the playoff spot, and everyone's starting to we got everyone healthy back again. And Reynoso didn't seem to look questionable as he was on the score sheet today. He looked on fire, looked fit as a fiddle. So as always, thanks for tuning in, and come on, you Loons.